Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, well, we're back. The Kryptonite Show, your host Superman in the house, and boy, we're going to meet an old friend of ours, TitanX. That's right, guys. It's been a while since we covered TitanX. We were one of the main streamers covering TitanX, as you guys know, yeah, so here we are. Here we are again. So what is happening? Well, you guys know it. It's the 8 days stakers payout. So 888 days. Staker payout is coming. It's a big one, over 1,100 Ethereum. Yeah, just sit back and take that in. It's about $2.3 million at the current price of Ethereum. Woo! So, we get to some of these Tom Lee numbers. Maybe we go from 2K to 20K. You're talking about a 10X on that number. So that would be $23 million worth if it was still held in there. But that's only 3 days away from payout, guys. 888 days. Man, we were here at the beginning. Do you remember? We were here at the beginning. What was it, October? What was it like? What year is it now? I don't know, but October 23, was it? No, October 24. I think it was October 24. Is that right? 365, 2 years. So what's that? 26, 24, something like that. I think it was October 28th, I think was the launch. Hopefully I'm right about that. But yeah, that's crazy. Surely it wasn't 27, October 27, was it? I don't know. I'm getting confused now. It's almost 900 days, isn't it? So anyway, a long time ago, maybe it was 23. Maybe it was 23. I should have checked before I started the live stream. Man, oh man, is that crazy? Is that crazy or what? Day 888 was the longest TitanX stake. And of course, there was a lot of things happening about that. A lot of people staking. A lot of whale staking, DragonX staking, Helios staking, a lot of the second, third layer protocols staking on that. It was crazy. It was a pretty mad time, right? So here we are. I can't believe we're here. That's why I'm spending a bit of time on 888 days because it was insane. Yeah. So it was October 2023, guys. So that's actually it, not 24, 23, 888 days ago. Is insane. So yeah, I think it was October the 28th that TitanX launched. Of course, Jake Sharp there was the founder, and here we are, almost 888 days. So we're 885 days through, 3 more days to go, and I think we could see some sparks in the charts, particularly for DragonX, maybe Helios as well. I already saw a couple of buys earlier today. Let's see what happens here. It's going to be pretty crazy. Now, if you're in our strategy club, of course, I posted a whole ton of stuff around this earlier, so you'll have all the details. But we're going to get into a bit of a live stream deep dive into TitanX, and hope you guys enjoy. It's been a long time for sure. So let's get into some of the details here. We're going to go to Mike Dean. He's kind of the data guy for TitanX. I remember TitanX primarily on Ethereum, but also on a few other multi-chain as Jake Sharp started to really get into omni-chain launches. And of course, many of the developers there really led the way on that. So we're going to get into a lot of this stuff. Here we are on TitanX Hub, and we're going to break it down. So let's get into it without further ado. Let me know in the comments if you've got any comments on this. Get it into the comments there. Really love to see your views on where you think this is heading. Obviously, we're in a bear market here, and we all haven't seen Jake Sharp for a long time, right? So there's been a lot of controversy around that. But we've had some diehard developers thinking like the dude and people like that still building out, right? So that's been kind of neat to see that sort of consistency from really innovative DeFi devs like the dude with Helios. Now we're going to break this down. So we've got the TitanX chart. Let's quickly look at the charts before we get into the staker payout. So let's see where TitanX is heading at the moment in this bear market. Let's go to the weekly chart. And this is tied with wrapped ETH, and let's log this chart so you can see the where it is. So obviously the down chart at the moment, and we're just coming off the bottom. So we had the all-time low for TitanX about 2 months ago on the 2nd of February. So that was a low of how much here? I was going to make on the right thing. So we've got a market cap. I'm going to go to the price though. And let's put that back in weekly. Sorry, I had it on market cap. Let's go to the weekly here and do that again. So all-time low was back here the week of the 2nd of February, and we had the all-time low at 7 zeros, 5,731. So 7 zeros, 5,071. So that was the all-time low. We're now at 7 zeros, 6,900. So we're going from 7 zeros, 57 to 7 zeros, 69. So let's have a quick zoom in on what that looks like in terms of percentage off the bottom. And let's have a look at that. So that is up 22% at the moment on TitanX. And like I said, I think we saw a couple of buys come in for DragonX just earlier. So people probably trying to front run the staker payout into DragonX being probably the principal beneficiary of the pool. I can't remember exactly the percentage it had, 46 to 55%, somewhere in there. Last time I checked, so that was a while ago. Probably still up there in the staker pool. Now, obviously, we had a lot of stakers exit and take out after we had the 369-day payout. And so we've probably got a big gap. I think it's 10 percentage points between that. So we'll probably see that play out as well. Tom Boss in the house. He should know a lot of stuff about this. He says, I feel like there are too many projects on TitanX that have collected lots of builders fees that always sell it down. Well, that's always the issue, right? That's always the issue. So we've obviously got a lot of cool devs in the TitanX ecosystem, and they are cool, but you just never know whether some of them are selling them down for some reason. It might be maybe they start off with good long-term diamond hand intentions, but maybe sometimes things happen in life and they start selling down some stuff. That's definitely possible. Hopefully the payout shakes it up a bit and maybe pumps it. Yeah. So the TitanX, I don't know. We could get a pump in TitanX if some of the ETH comes out and buys up TitanX. That's possible. Surely we'll get a percentage of that. But then we've seen in the past a lot of, if it's big players, they often take the ETH and run and maybe go after something new or something like that. The alternative, of course, is a lot of the ETH is actually going into second layer protocols, and that is into DragonX and Helios, right? And they've got different plans for that. So we're going to talk about that coming up. And I'd love to see your thoughts on that. So some good comments here from Tom Boss. All right, so there we go. We're at a little bit of a pump today in the week. Let's go to the daily chart here on TitanX. And we've got 2 green candles in there. But boy, oh boy, is TitanX cheap right now. Now, just remember, there's not just the 888 payout, but there's also the buy and burn V1, right? And that's got about 4,400 Ethereum, so 4 times the amount in the staker payout. So that's worth what, $9 million, something like that, over $9 million at the current price of Ethereum. Obviously, if Ethereum does a 5x to, I don't know, what's that, $10,000, then that quickly becomes, almost 45 to 50 million bucks, probably close to 50 million bucks. So, this is, they turn on the buy and burn when the price of ETH goes up, and if they're going to be waiting until at least $10,000 ETH before they turn it on, then that's where we are right now. Now, as I say, Jake Sharp. I always get Jack and Jake mixed up, but Jake Sharp has been missing in action for quite a long time, and the buy and burn essentially in V1 is turned off, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit too. But here we are right now with TitanX. So let's move on. But that is the charts at the moment. So we've had a good look at that. So it's cheap on TitanX at the moment, right? Now, don't forget there's all the holders. So we could look at the holders. They're all there as well. I'm not going to really look at them because, there's probably about 9 holders, maybe less, maybe 7, 8 holders with a trillion TitanX or more. That's definitely a smaller group than it used to be. You get distribution over time, I guess. That's out there too. Now, we've got DragonX. Let's have a look at DragonX. Of course, the big juggernaut on top. DragonX was kind of, at the time, was a major play. And, of course, many people I know did quite well out of DragonX. So here we go and have a look at the chart of DragonX here. Now, this is the founder of this is Eric, of course. Eric is a long-time crypto guy, a developer, and also he's doing his own thing right now with his sort of investment club. So we'll talk a little bit about that, I guess. But that's not the main topic of this video. So let's have a look at the DragonX price here. So that's market cap. So let me just go away from market cap. I just want to keep it on the price. Market cap obviously is interesting, but I want to see what the price is doing. So this is US dollar price. Remember that DragonX is built on top of TitanX. So TitanX is the derivative. So DragonX is the derivative of TitanX, and the ratio is to TitanX rather than to Ethereum, which was what we saw with TitanX, right? So At the moment on US dollars, though, we have seen a little pump in the last week, going from this place here. But we're going to go to the all-time low here. Well, it's not the all-time low, is it? Because the all-time low was back here in April. But the local all-time low here after the big mega run. Remember that run? A lot of people got rich during that run, and a lot of people forgot to sell and then got rolled over a bit. So there we go. A lot by the time we got to the end of it. So here we are on about 2 months ago at the 2nd of February as well. We had the local low, I should say, in this case, not like TitanX, of 6 zeros, 2,500. And now we're back at 6 zeros. Is it 6 zeros? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Is that 7 zeros? I could be seeing things here. Is it 6 zeros? Let me need to double check that. I need my binoculars. Microscope. Need a microscope. Is that 8 zeros? I don't know. I don't know what that is. How many zeros is that? I need my screen bigger. My screen's a little small. I can't see what the damn thing is. Is that 6 zeros? I hope is that 6 zeros or 8 zeros? 6 zeros? I think it's 6 zeros. And what have we got now? 6 zeros. Okay, so yeah, 6 zeros. 6 zeros, 2,500. It is 6 zeros, 2,500. And now we're at 6 zeros, 4,700. So we're up off the bottom there. Let's see how much that is. Let's see how much. Oh, let's go to the ruler here. We're up 26% on TitanX. We're up 84% on DragonX. So that's up about almost 4x the times there off the bottom. So 47. A bit of that pump happened today. So let's have a look at the daily. But before we do that, let's have a look at the TitanX ratio. Remember, this is a derivative of TitanX. So let's have a look at the weekly there on there. And we can see we've got a green week at the moment, obviously, with the staker payout coming out. DragonX is going to be the main beneficiary of that 1,100 ETH, right? So here we are. We've got 6.8 ratio at the moment. So we've had a bit of a bump in the week from 5.9. Let's say let's round it at 6 TitanX per DragonX. We're now at 6.8. Do you remember the Holy Grail days back here on 3rd of September 24? We got up to 27.32. Now, we were in Discord watching that live. We watched that whole top of that candle live there, and Big Whale came in and bought that top, remember that? And then it got eventually dumped within, I don't know, was it 30 minutes? Started dumping down. But that was, weekly candles there, and what a week that was. Here we are right down at 6.8. So 27 was the high there. We ignore the beginning first day, right? Ignore that. And then we got 6.8 where we are right now. So we're going to get a bit of a run in the next couple of days. So let's have a look at the daily ratio. This is the daily here. We've got 2 little green candles after a bit of a sell the other day, but we've got 3 days to go until we get the payout. So that's more Ethereum coming to DragonX into its treasury, right? We'll break that down. So that is huge. So let's close this chart down now, and let's go to the protocols, right? So let's go to TitanX. Actually, before we do that, let's go to Helios, right? Let's go to Helios quickly, and we'll have a quick look at the Helios chart since that's another beneficiary of the payout, right? So let's go to the US dollars. We're going to go to weekly as well. Now, Helios is still actively building, right? So Helios with the dude, still actively building in the TitanX. In fact, if I remember rightly, it's possibly the most active builder, possibly. I'm not sure who else is out there building as active as Helios and the dude. Let me know in the chat there if you know anybody that's else as part of the developers. There is a TitanX developers group, and they obviously talk, but I'm not sure how much activity has been going through recently. All right, so let's get back in here. So we've also got a bit earlier than the 2nd of February. Remember, TitanX, DragonX had that local low. Well, had the lows and DragonX local low. Here we got TitanX all-time low as well, but it was a bit earlier, 29th of January, the week of. So it was about a week earlier there. And that was a low. Let me go to the price here. Actually, I got market cap again. I don't know why I keep doing that, but it's just the way it goes. So we go to the weekly here, and we're going to go back. So 26. It was a week earlier. We had a low of 7 zeros, 38.50. Now we're at what are we at? 6 zeros now. 6 zeros, 12.32. So we actually lost a zero. So let's have a look at what the recovery's been on that. US dollars is 214%. So whoa, way better, right? 3x. On the old Helios. Well done on that. 56 days. So that's a real nice thing. If you had bought the dip, if you were lucky enough, I don't know, probably not likely, but that is pretty cool. It was a weekly candle. Let's go to the TitanX on the weekly and have a look at that too. That was the US dollars. Let's have a TitanX. And so, yeah, it's been pretty profitable in Helios off that dip. Well, TitanX ratio here, what's the all-time low? Well, the all-time low was way further back on 4th of August. It got down to a ratio of 0.35 TitanX per Helios, so only a fraction of a Helios. It is currently at 1.83. Woohoo! So that is done extremely well off that little dip in that time frame. So I mean, if we take it up from there, that is a 400% gain in the ratio. So that's why it's been so profitable over the last 2 months. Is that over the last 238 days it has managed to gain 411%, so 5x. Obviously, it's had some dips on the way. The last dip was that 26th of January. And so if we look at that dip, which went all the way down to 0.6, we ended up still a 3x from there, 200% in 63 days. So, you're pretty lucky if you're able to capture these dips. Typically, you'd have to have a pretty reliable limit order in there or something. But that is Helios. So they're going to be another beneficiary. All right, so those are the three big ones that we're going to be looking here. Obviously, there's a lot of other projects. Let me know if there's any that I should look at. Do you think that will be beneficial with these? But I'm not aware of too many others here. Maybe there are some new ones. There's a lot of third-level derivatives, right? Derivatives of derivatives here, built on Hyper, built on Helios, etc. Obviously, we've got Volt out there too. So the mad scientist, DVD. I'm not sure what he's been doing lately, but he was also doing pretty innovative stuff like the dude was. But let's jump to the main story. So the main story, guys, is the TitanX here. So let's have a look at that. We're going to go to the DApp. So we're on here on app.titanx.win, and we are going to go have a look at the payout here. So we've obviously got the overall circulation. So 56.65% of TitanX has been burned. 43.35% exists still. So 127 trillion TitanX, a big number, trillion TitanX being burned, $8.8 million, and we've got 97.3 trillion left circulating around. And of that 97 circulating around, 56 trillion is liquid, 28 trillion is staked, and that's the question over the next couple of days. Will we see that 28 trillion go up? I think there's a 10% pointage gap between the 369 and the 888 day. And then we've got the BOT protocols there. So the second, third, fourth layers, or whatever they might be, are sitting there at 12.8 trillion is stuck in there at the moment. So, and that's worth 900,000. So 2 million in the state at the moment. We'll see if that jumps up in the next couple of days. But we've still got a pretty big liquid amount, right? 56.3 trillion. So that is a big issue there. We don't obviously have a lot of builders right now. Probably active, and Jake Sharp's missing in action at the moment, and the buy and burns turned off, right? So it's kind of where we are at the stage. It's been a long time. We've obviously got the leaderboard there with the big burns. We can see that which one's this ranked on? Is it the burn? Maybe it's the burn here. Let's see. You can obviously fix them in LP, locked, staked, or burned. So I'm not sure which one that one is, but burned. We got X28, which is the omni-chain version of TitanX. We've got Shogun there, Hyper, Lotus, Inferno, Helios, Taurus, and DragonX. Obviously, Taurus there from Cryptographics, another great influencer developer out there. Staked-wise, let's see. Staked, we've got DragonX at the top. So these are the ones that will get most of the staked amount, right? So we've got 16.4. We can actually work out the math on that. Should we do that quickly while we're here? I'm going to get to some of the comments in the chat in a minute, but let's do the math here. So 16. Now, this is staked at TitanX, so it doesn't reflect the shares, right? So I've got to be careful with that. So maybe I might avoid doing that percentage, but that is where we are right now. I know Mike Dean has these exact numbers. So we've got 16.377 trillion TitanX stake from DragonX. So they're going to get the bulk of it, regardless of share rate. They were right in early, right at the beginning. Helios, they're 1.4 trillion staked, and then Phoenix. So we asked about another one at Phoenix there. Got 140 million staked, or billion staked there. So it's pretty interesting. We also got some pretty key lock ones. We got Ouroboros with 7.6 trillion TitanX locked. And then we got Taurus there with 604 million, Lotus of 487. Quite a bit locked in some of these other protocols. And then TitanX LP, Volt's got 844 billion in it. Taurus 806 billion. And then DragonX with 525, so some decent LPs there. We had a couple of comments in there before I move on. Let's see, we got Christy in crypto. Hey, great to see you, Christy. Build DeFi is how to build on TitanX. Only build on top of the current community. Build DeFi on top. Yeah, that's true. Sean O'Malley, hey Superman, what will you do to Hyper, Hydra, and Viper? What will this do to Hyper, Hydra, and Hydra? Well, presumably they should pump, right? Anything built on TitanX or DragonX, but particularly DragonX, it's got to be the most pumpamental, and Helios to some degree. That's kind of where I see it, Sean. So those are the key ones there. We'll come back to that question. That's a good one. So we might come back to it later. Chrissy says Omni-chain TitanX is called Shogun. Shogun is a protocol that uses TitanX and X1. Yeah, uses X1, but sorry, not X1. What am I saying here? Let me go back to the home here. Where is it? X28 is the omni-chain version of TitanX. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, but you're quite right. Shogun is where you do the minting, swapping there. But X28 is actually the one that goes on the other chains. So that's consistent with what I said earlier. But good insight there around Shogun. Active is James from Scale. Yeah, James, okay. Built on Hydra. Helios is the dude. Blaze is from Ellie. That's right. Yeah. Very good. Imagine a Jake live stream on day 88. Well, it's possible, Chrissy. He's away for the bear market, obviously. He'll be back for the bull market. But look, ETH's still got a while to run yet before it starts doing the big numbers and a big high from the Philippines. Good to see you, Chrissy. And I hope everyone's in the Philippines doing well. Hyper is on DragonX and Vault from Stevie D. Nice one there, Chrissy. Chrissy's right into the mix there. All right, so kind of cool. We've got all the tickers on there at the moment, so we're going to go through a little bit here. I'm just looking for the DragonX back to Sean's question here. We got Baby DragonX course on DragonX. That might do well. Baby DragonX. It's up 8% already today there, Sean. What else is on DragonX? Yeah, some of the third, fourth lower tokens built on top of Helios might do okay. I thought there was another one with DragonX. Is it Hydra? Yeah, Hydra. So Hydra might do very well. Yeah, Hydra might do very well. Back to Sean's question. So Hydra and Viper. I don't remember Viper on the... there's a little bit of a detour from where we're heading, but we'll get there. We've got Viper. So Viper's on DragonX too. So yeah, all those ones should do well, Sean. And then, of course, it's just an issue of anyone that's holding those tokens whether they decide to trade back out, right? That's possible. But we'll get into that when we talk about what might be done with the value. It might be a little bit disappointing for the DragonX based on what I can tell. It might be a very similar strategy with TitanX itself. And then Helios is probably the most bullish out of them, actually. But like I say, the markets will probably price those up, but then maybe they'll sell them down a little bit after there's nothing else done with it, right? With the buy and burn. That's kind of the driving factor there. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But those are some of the derivatives here. All right, so where are we going from here? We've done TitanX, so we're going back to TitanX. So TitanX, that's the overview there. Let me go to, we're going to ignore the Omni-chain part of it, the X28 and Shogun, but we're going to jump into the actual payments. So the payouts that we're talking about, for those that are wondering, you go to more and then you go to payouts. And we're on day 885. You can see it at the top, 1 hour and 21 minutes into it, into day 885. And we're waiting for day 888, guys. So we're only a couple of days away, 3-day countdowns actually. So pretty cool. So we've got the day 888 payout there, and we're ticking away. I guess, so we are 2 days to count down. Is it day 86, 85, 86, 87? No, we're still 3 days. So 3-day countdown. And look at this. We've got 1,111.3759 ETH. There we go. That is sitting in the 888-day payout. Crazy, right? Crazy. Now, I told you guys about, remember there was always a subset. It's true in Pulse Chain too. There's a subset of streamers in both TitanX and Pulse Chain that do all this mumbo jumbo stuff about the Scientology type thing or crap, or whatever that is. But that's all crap. I hope people work out that's crap by now. But anyway, they do it, and here we are today. I just wanted to highlight that since they used to talk that nonsense all the time. But here we are. We're at 1,111 Ethereum. We're at $2.3 million. Can you believe it? $2.3 million. That's at ETH at 2,000. We're hyper bullish on where ETH is going, right? Taking over the monetary system to some degree, and also bringing all modern finance over. All the tokenization's coming. We see it already. All the big institutions buying up the digital asset treasuries. It's all happening. We know it's going to be absolutely ballistic. So this could be worth way more in the future, 10, 20, 30 times more just in this potential cycle ahead of us. So at the moment, it's worth 2.3 million. So exciting times from here. And this is what's going to be given out in 3 days. There's $2.3 million, 1,111 ETH is going to be unlocked into the system, coming back in from being locked away. You think about that, right? So on top of Ethereum is all these protocols. TitanX, of course, was a decent one. And then they lock away all this ETH, and now it comes back in the system. So fun times ahead, fun times ahead. Now, what do we have? We had Bitmine Immersion. How much did they buy in the last update? Yes, today, actually, it was this morning. They bought another 75,000 ETH. So it's still a fraction of that. So it gives you some, benchmark of a weekly update. But still, a significant amount of ETH is coming out, 1,100 there. All right, so that's coming out. You can see we're 99% complete, 3 days to go. That is the big deal. So that is coming out, and that is the last. So you can sort of see the other ones that we had. Obviously, we got they had the 369 payout, and no one else is going into the system. So I guess there's nothing to accrue. No one's going in, and so forth. So there we go, because obviously come back to minting and everything else. So that is the big deal. So that's going out to Payout. So now let's have a look. We're going to come back to TitanX and the actual amount that's in TitanX for the buy and burn V1. We'll come back to that because that's part of the story as well, right? Probably the biggest part, to be honest. So let's come back to somewhere. So Jake Sharp here, obviously the founder of TitanX ecosystem. He did a lot of live streams with a lot of the developers, especially what Christie's talking about, a lot of these people, Stevie D and James and many others out there. And he's been missing in action, right? So kind of the last update he had was on the October 30th here. He did a post. So that's how long ago. It's been, 6 months? 6 months since he's done an update there. And, there's some of the comments that he's had. So we'll see whether he comes back on day 88 and does a live stream. Might do. And we'll see. But he's been away for 6 months. And let's see what happens here. Maybe he's just going to come back when the bull market's on. He turns on the buy and burn. We'll see. But that is Jake Sharp there right now. Now, the builders in TitanX have been a lot more sustained and committed. They have been working. Mike Dean is one of those. He's often doing a lot of it. He's the data guy, the quant guy. And he says a few days until the TitanX day 888 payout. And, of course, he has all the data analytics there. Very, very, he's done a great job with that. Before day 369, peak stake hit 55 trillion TitanX. 55 trillion was the peak staked. Before day 8, currently sitting at 45 trillion, right? So 45 trillion. I think we went to the home stats, didn't we? Didn't we go to home stats? Let's go supply stats on that. Staked. We've got 28 here. So I don't know whether he's talking about shares or something. But we're at 45 trillion. That's a 10.5 trillion gap. So let's have a look here. We've got the staked TitanX. You can see the line going up. 369, I guess. And here we are now sitting around 45 trillion. So that's on his dashboard here. And you can see we've had a little bit of increase in staking from the looks of it. Yeah, look at that. People are staking, guys. And that is in the recent months. So you've got a bit of yellow there. Some of them and quite high too. There's a couple of trillion stake there. So people are staking, trying to get access to this 1,100 ETH, I guess. And is it more valuable? I don't know. We'll see. I guess they can just stake for a day, and then or 2 weeks or something, and then unstake it, right? That's probably what they're going to do. A cheers, Superman, says Sean. You're most welcome. Chrissy says we will play Superman on the big screen here in the restaurant. Hi, everybody in the restaurant. You're making me hungry now, honestly. You make me hungry now. But that's great. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Chrissy says, I'm watching while at work. Shout out to us girls here, the TitanX girls, 4 of us watching. Hey, big shout out to all 4 of you, and I hope you guys are having a great time there at work. Happy customers. I heard Sharp and Hart are a rhythm-related team. This is the rumor, says Chrissy. Well, maybe Hart and that might be the case. Maybe they're hiding in the same place. I don't know. Kind of way. Anyway, so stakes are rising fast. So we do see that stakes are happening. So that will lower the payouts relative to DragonX and TitanX. DragonX and Helios, for example. So yeah, a lot of people are responding in there in the comment section there. All right, so that is from those guys. So that's Jake Sharp. We've gone through Mike Dean. He's got that cool chart. So definitely people staking there. We'll see if the gap does close. And we probably still 3 days to go. We're seeing early signs. So probably will, reduce the yield somewhat to DragonX and others. Investor Logic, he's been a long time TitanX community member. He says just a couple of days left, a TitanX fam. will we see major fireworks in the next 3 days? That's indeed. Will we see? We've already seen a little bit of buying in the chart. We'll come back to that. Might run back to the number one spot on Ethereum. Yeah, of course. Remember that TitanX was up there. And so there was also a couple others, DragonX and others, that were in the top 10. And don't forget Mad Scientist Stevie D had Volt up there too. Remember, that was quite the launch. And it wasn't really replicated again, but certainly that did pretty well. We got Deep Blue Alpha here says this TitanX thing is insane. In 5 days, so this was 2 days ago, there is over 2.2 million ETH getting paid out. This could be one of the biggest sleepers on the Ethereum network. And there are more protocols like with burn balances like DragonX. That's true. We're going to come to talk about that in a minute. Add to the millions of dollars in the buy and burn funds. This top 20 token on ETH is as bullish as it gets. So many catalysts. How did anyone miss this? So he's got a little picture of that. Kind of cool. Got the burn and the buy and burn. Circulating supply. Kind of cool. What else there? We've got everyone from Eros there saying Polymers, admin keys, and the founder has enough extracted TitanX to drain the LP. That is always a risk that people talk about, so that's always possible. Needs to use the TitanX gain on every mint to buy and burn all bot coins first, then hit the ETH to burn the TitanX. Reward all the founders who were mastermind members. Pump it. Yeah, maybe. So that is on that one. So that is Investor Logic. I don't know if we had any comments on that one. It won't be boring. It says Investor Logic. That's true. All right. So that is from him. Now, let's get into the two main teams. There was a couple of community comments on it. But the main teams, guys, DragonX. So the founder of DragonX, of course, is Eric. And he is doing is mastermind investment. Of course, they're making lots of money there, apparently. That's during the bear market while they wait for the bull market. And, of course, the buy and burn to be turned on and all that stuff. Eric's in here. And, of course, I believe that the founding team for DragonX has about 8% of the supply. I think that's about right. And, of course, Eric says here, interested to get folks' thoughts on what happened in 2024. This is the last sort of DragonX post he had, which was back on February the 21st. So it's a while back now. What's it, about 5 weeks or so. BTC dominance dropped out and we had a mini altcoin bull run. DragonX did 100x. Of course, that's where DragonX got really famous. And a lot of people talked about that. So pretty cool. We do get some comments here from people talking about that. So I won't read through all the comments that people make. But that is from Eric. Now, Eric, of course, runs DragonX. Now, my suspicion here on DragonX, so we're going to come back to that. We're going to go to the DApp on DragonX and pull it up. And we already looked at the chart. So let's have a look at into the apps. And we're going to go DragonX. Now, DragonX itself already has payouts in it, right? So the current supply of DragonX is 4.9 trillion. The total DragonX burned is 1.3 trillion. So it's burned quite a bit. Staked TitanX staked is 16 trillion TitanX has been staked, worth 1.1 million US dollars at the moment. And of course, that's going to get the biggest payout of the yield. So it's pretty huge. Total claimed at the moment, almost $4 million of ETH has been claimed, 1,900 ETH. Pretty amazing. And so current claimable is nothing, but in 3 days, they're going to have their share of the ETH, right? So I think it's somewhere between 45 and 50%. It's based on shares, so I don't have that number to hand myself. So buy TitanX for DragonX. Now, their vault has got two different components of the treasury, let's say. So buy TitanX for the DragonX vault, so you can buy more TitanX. That's bullish for TitanX. So people are talking about, we'll get a pump on TitanX. Well, we've certainly got the treasury here available for that. The other part of the split is buy and burn DragonX. So actually burning DragonX off the market and increasing that amount there, 1.3 burn, right? Which is at the moment, so burning some of that 4.9 trillion. And so at the moment, they already got a lot of ETH in the treasury, right? So total ETH in the TitanX buy vault is already 458 Ethereum, and that's 900. So that there says total ETH deposited in TitanX buy vault. ETH is added to the contract after ETH payouts are claimed. So they've got some more ETH coming, right? They're going to have more ETH coming to top up this. So they've already got 458 ETH here, which is almost 950,000 US dollars. So this is going to go well over $1 million. And I don't know how much they're getting out of the 1.1, but let's say they get another 500 ETH. That's over double what the ETH is in here at the moment. Remember, they got earlier shares, right? The better share rates. So let's just say 50%, just argue. I don't know, it's somewhere in that ballpark. It's quite a wide ballpark, but somewhere in there. And so let's just assume they get that. So it puts them, close to 1,000 ETH in this Dragon Vault. Now they've got the other one, buy and burn DragonX. That's got 463 ETH in it, $956,000. So if you add that up, it's about 1.9 million, and they're about to probably double that at least, right? So you're looking at probably $4 million in here, $2 million either side, just as quick numbers, and that could all there buy up DragonX and buy up TitanX, respectively. But here's the problem. The problem is that there is the buy and burn's turned off, right? So current swap there is 0 and callable every hour. So the hourly setting's still there, but there is no active ETH at the moment. So we know TitanX buy and burn's turned off and DragonX's buy and burn's turned off. So it's filling up with ETH, but no doubt, in my view, they're just waiting for the bull market in ETH. So when do they turn it on? Well, is DragonX going to follow TitanX on the buy and burn? Are they going to happen at the same time? So if TitanX goes on, and presumably Jack Sharp is looking for the bull market cycle to begin, and no doubt with ETH being a much higher price. What is that price? $5,000, $10,000? Well, we almost got to 5 and it wasn't on. So is it going to be $10,000 ETH before it turns on? We don't know. I'm not sure if anyone does, but if you do have some clues, let us know in the chat. Chrissy says, will Jake stake TitanX day 887 and will Eric place in TitanX 887? This is what we all talk about. That's true. That's a really good point there, Chrissy. So that's also possible, right? So lots of potential staking. We did see people staking already. Maybe they stake as well and get a lot of that Ethereum there. What else do we? Chrissy's in the house there. We decided to get into Hydra because it has a buy and burn, and it has DragonX buy and burn and the TitanX buy and burn boost. Yeah. So the layer upon layer fundamentals makes Hydra look pretty attractive, and that's a good insight there for Sean that asked earlier as well. All right. So those are some really big issues there. So we're going to keep a lookout over the next couple of days. Nice one there, Chrissy. And that's where we are on the buy and burn DragonX. So it's going to probably at least double based on this, and then how much will go. So we will see. So at the moment, 21% of DragonX has been burned through the buy and burn. That's 1.3 trillion, and 1.12 trillion has been bought through the buy and burn. Sorry, through the treasury here. So we're going to keep a lookout for that in the next couple of days. So yeah, I'm not expecting too much to happen, to be honest. I think this will just be turned on with DragonX and TitanX later on. But in the short term, we could definitely see a big rally in some of these second, third layer tokens, as Chrissy's pointed out. And do we see a dilution there with some of the short-term staking from some of the big TitanX holders? Definitely, we might go back and look at those holders at the moment. And of course, that includes Jake Sharp himself. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All right. So that is some of the cool stuff there. So we've covered Eric, and maybe we'll see an update from Eric in the next couple of days. So we'll keep a lookout for that. The dude, of course, for Helios. Helios is the other big one to benefit from the big payout of 1,100 Ethereum. So let's have a look at that. $2.3 million, remember? So this is the dude, and he is a prolific builder, very great innovator. We've interviewed him a number of times here on the Crypto Night Show, and he's been great. He's just fantastic. Real great person to follow. He really does great stuff all around. So they've had a big vote. They've a lot of votes on the DAO. He's obviously doing a lot of innovation, a lot of development still, layer upon layer in the protocol. Kind of cool. And so, yeah, I'm just having a look at some of the stuff here, doing a lot of tokenomics. I want to jump away from this, though, and that is the dude. So he's the founder of Helios. Helios here, of course, they've got their own X account as well. So you've got all the Helios details here. They've had a couple of votes on the DAO, so votes on the DAO there. But I want to jump over to what they're going to do, right? So let's go to the Helios DApp. Let me find that. Where's it? Down here somewhere. And they've got obviously a number of other protocols, but we're just going to look at this one. And we're going to go to the treasury and have a look at what's in the treasury at the moment. So we looked at the DragonX treasury, which is about to get at least doubled in size. Obviously we're going to have a lot of TitanX staking, but I still think they'll get a big bulk of that. And then we're going to go to have a look here. So we've got, at the moment, they've got 2.8 Ethereum in the token treasury, $6,000. They got Element 280. They got $250 of that. Helios, they got $2,600 of that. TitanX, they got $2,140 of that. So that's kind of what they got there. Got other tokens in there as well from some of the protocols. Now we've got the TitanX treasury down here. So we're going to scroll down here. We've got $98,000 of TitanX staked at the moment. So this is where they get a lot of their benefit from the payouts. The future estimated payout from that is 49.6 ETH. Okay. So that's what they're expected to get at the moment, 49.6 ETH. And that's still pretty decent. Let me refresh this because I lost the US dollar values for some reason. But that is pretty good. So they're going to get, where'd they go? 46 ETH. So they got that much coming at the moment. And they have decided to do something with that by vote, I believe by vote. So let's go have a look at what that is. And we're going to jump over to, this came out hot off the press earlier, right? So this here came off the Telegram earlier today. So this is really brand new here. So hot off the press stuff. Someone asked today, you can see the word today there, which I snapshot today. We got, how is Helios going to play the AA8 payout, play or use? And the dude says, we just passed a vote to support Bull DeFi. And I think, Chrissy, you were talking about that earlier, right? Talking about Bull DeFi. Let's go find Chrissy's comment. And Bull DeFi is how to build on TitanX. So they're going to do that. So we passed a vote to support Bull DeFi. We will also be providing incentives for people to launch tokens on top of H420, which is another one of his tokens in Bull DeFi. 70% of the payout goes to the H420 buy and burn. So there we go. So they're supporting the H420. 7% of the payout goes to the H420 buy and burn. And of course, the H420 is going to be down here somewhere. There it is there. So H4 buy and burn. So that's the protocol there. Let's go have a quick look at that as well. I guess it's coming on the same page, but that doesn't matter. we got the tokens here. What do we got? The summary there. I'm not sure what the conversions. I don't really come on here, but prices balance not coming up as well. I'm not sure why they're all doing this now. Not the data not coming up, but that looks like that's going to get most of the burn on the H420. Let's go to the buy and burn control. Let's see what that is. Swap, smoke, buy and burn. So there we go. I don't know where the US dollar values just disappeared. I don't know why it's happening, but E28 balance and the next buy and burn. So I guess they're doing something around buying, maybe E28. Is that what's happening? E28 next buy and burn. So maybe that's what's contributing to the H420 buy and burn. The first one is ETH. So that one's base chain, and this is ETH chain. So maybe the ETH chain is going to get some love there. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. We got Sean says, "Hey Superman." I'm sorry, we already looked at that comment. We got Frank White in house there. Bang bang Pulse gang. Hey, good to see you, Frank White. Big welcome. And Wookie says, "Should look at the Morpheus chart, Super." Yeah, we'll do that. So those I just want to look in the right order. We're trying to look in the right order first, but I'll definitely do that. So that is the buy and burn. So it looks like that's what's going to happen with the ETH that's coming in, and that was passed by a DAO vote from the looks of it. So 70% of the payout goes to the H420. Yeah, maybe Helios itself is only going to get a little bit of that, maybe 30% in the Helios buy and burn. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of where we are with that at the moment. So that is as much as I can see there. We're going to come back to the TitanX. So I'm expecting a no change for DragonX. The derivatives of DragonX might do quite well, which includes, maybe AwesomeX and a few others. So Viper, of course, anything on DragonX, BDX, Baby DragonX on DragonX, they're kind of already leading up. Look at that, 5% on Viper. All the DragonX ones already leading up. Hydra there on DragonX leading up 5.6. So they're already lifting on the DragonX getting bought up. So DragonX being bought up as derivative, that makes a lot of sense. So those ones are already on the move. And maybe they get a hyper rally over the next 3 days, because 3 days is a bit of time, especially if the markets decide to, play well as well. That also helps with sentiment. So those are the kind of key players there right now. What's another DragonX? Saw another one down here. Ascend is on DragonX. No real change there. I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe there's not much volume or something. That's kind of left alone. What else is down here? Turbo is on top of Hyper, and Hyper, of course, is one as well, isn't it? So Hyper's up here, isn't it, somewhere? Oh, Hyper's on TitanX, so yeah, I guess that's why that hasn't moved. But maybe the buy and burn helps with the TitanX. We shall see. Morpheus is up 5%, so that's doing pretty well. Is that the one you're looking at? Yeah, Morpheus chart. We looked at that. Let's have a look at Morpheus. We'll have a look at the chart itself. So yeah, all the DragonX derivatives are all on the move, and we can see actually the daily here. Look at us starting to move up the last 6 days on Morpheus. And Morpheus, of course, is also, that's Brandon, of course, one of our big influences on TitanX and Pulse Chain. Also prolific developer team, right? Done many protocols on TitanX and Pulse Chain as well. I think probably other chains. So that's doing pretty well. 245 is the market right now. Let's go to the price. I don't know why it keeps going back to that. Maybe because I had a default or something. But that is the weekly chart at the moment for Morpheus, and that's looking pretty good, isn't it? We had the all-time low back here on 2nd February as well. That seems to be a popular zone there, and all tied into the TitanX, no doubt. And we're up 150% inside 56 days, so 2.5x, not bad. And then the last 2 weeks on the pump there, some nice gains there. Let's go to the DragonX ratio, obviously to DragonX, and let's have a look at the hourly chart. You can see we got a nice little move up here, and we're only just begun. We've still got 3 days to go. People are only really becoming aware of this right now, so this is kind of a few people that were in early on it, like talking about it. Obviously, Chrissy and others, but this is really people are starting to hear about it now. Certainly, this live stream probably helped with that a little bit. And it's game on, right? Game on. Now, if you're in Strategy Club, of course, you got all the posts early. So if you guys haven't joined up Strategy Club, well worth doing it. We're covering all these sort of things: Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Bitcoin, TitanX, Solana, X1, all that stuff. And so you're getting a lot of intel there. You can join up in the QR code or in the video description or pinned at the top of X. That's the place to be. What else there? Chrissy says H420 is Helios on Pulse Chain and Omni Chain, says Chrissy. Yeah. Chrissy, do you know much about the what's the guy that's posting at the moment? Keeps posting on my channels lately the last couple of days. I'll come back to that in a minute. Chrissy says Morpheus has over 11% of supply bridge to Pulse Chain. We learned in the Telegram groups, right? So that's a really great omni-chain strategy there. Helios is definitely on Pulse Chain, and they've got a lot of their Tau tokens and all that over there as well. We have had the dude on to talk about that some time ago. It'd be great to get him back on soon. Actually, I might hit him up. Maybe you guys can hit him up. You could hit up the dude. Say that Superman was keen to get him on, and let's see what he does. Let's see what he does there, and that'd be pretty cool. And just doing some live stream modifications. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's jump back to, that's all on the move. So DragonX derivatives on the move, guys. DragonX on the move. Derivatives on the move. It's up 5% now, but what's it going to do over the next 3 days? Are people going to FOMO in? It does seem logical and probable. And we'll see. That's where it's at. Now, one of the other big things I want to talk about right now is actually, let's quickly, before we get into TitanX, let's quickly look at the roadmap. Are there many projects in the future that are still upcoming? Well, now we used to have heaps, remember? Now there's only Horizon and Nova, apparently. So I'm not sure who's doing these teams. They don't have a lot of details on them, but they're still listed on the upcoming projects. So we'll see what happens there. Let us know if you know much about theirs. So what do we got there? We got Mike Dean says that the ecosystem market cap is 14 million right now. The volume apparently is 35,000. Total TitanX burn 127. TitanX users at 9,500. That kind of got stuck there, didn't it? Got stuck there, obviously, with where the tokenomics are at the moment. And that's kind of where we are. So kind of cool. Here's lots of other features like swaps and premiums and bubbles and portfolio. You can use all those features. Portfolio's excellent on there. He's done a great job of that. But let's get into TitanX and look at the other big things. So we talked about the supply numbers and the top projects. We talked about the key beneficiaries like DragonX and Helios. And now we've also got the buy and burn, right? So TitanX itself has no current buy and burn through V2, but it's got a little bit of money in there, I think. Is it? No, not much. There's no money in there. But V1 has all the money. So V1 has 4,452 Ethereum in it, which is $9.2 million at the current price of ETH. So like I say, if ETH goes 5x or 10x, that's suddenly worth $50 and $100 million very quickly. And that makes TitanX worth a lot of money, and that makes the derivatives like DragonX and its next layer, layer 3, layer 4 tokens all go looking very expensive, right? So now, as it cascades up, it also can cascade back down as people decide to take profits, right? So that's also true. But what an ecosystem it is, especially with the layered cake there. But yeah, $9.2 million. So at the moment, there's over 5,500 ETH still in the TitanX ecosystem directly through the payouts and through the buy and burn. So cool. Now, I do understand, I think there was a bit of an issue with V1 around the the bots or something in the gas price. I can't remember exactly the details, but there was a little issue around that. But regardless, that's a ton of money in there, and something equivalent to $30,000 in user rewards for the gas fees. So, and of course, with gas prices down, it's got to be a lot cheaper to do, right? Take advantage of there. So yeah, that is pretty huge on the old buy and burn. I've got to go back and check the mechanism. Let me know in the chat if you guys remember what the issue was around V1 buy and burn, if there still is one. Chrissy says, "Dude, wake up!" says Chrissy. Yeah. Now it is Build DeFi is the launch pad. We respect the dude, James, Rich, Dave. They spent a lot of money. Yeah. So those guys are probably the core guys that have been keep going, and so they have been doing a great job as well. Have we got George Boss in the house there? How do you stream still, says George. I stream every day through bear markets and bull markets. What's it been, 6 years now, George? I think it's been 6 years, mate. And that's because I love crypto. I was going to, like, if I'm going to be in crypto, and I might as well stream about it and share the journey. It's kind of the idea there, George. And been pretty consistent with it. What else? And dude, we've got the bull market ahead of us, man. It's going to be glorious, mate. When it drops, it's very close indeed. So kind of cool. We've still got opportunities in 26, but man, I'm feeling really bullish about the second half of the year and bullish about 27 and 28. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. Under the Trump era, I think we're looking pretty solid for an incredible bull market. All right. That's kind of where we are with the old TitanX at the moment. So day 885, we got just under 3 days to go until the payout. The payout is coming, and that is down here at 1,111 ETH, worth $2.3 million at the moment. And of course, we could see a bit of a staking boom in those 3 days, potentially some big moves in DragonX and the derivatives, maybe even TitanX itself. With all that buying, obviously people got to buy through TitanX to get into those, and we could see some good stuff happening there as well. Yeah, crypto is dead. Oh, you mean just like every other year it's dead? That's hilarious. All right, so make sure you own no crypto though, schemed, so that you don't get any of the upside. That's all that matters, right? I love it when people come and say things like that, because then it's like, well, make sure you don't hold any crypto because we don't want you to get all the big gains in the future. All right, so that is kind of where we are with TitanX at the moment. Yeah, interesting stuff. We've got a bit of a DragonX on the move. We're going to see how it goes over the next couple of days. That's a quick coverage. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Big shout out to the devs still building. I mean, dude, James, and others, all still out there doing the good stuff, leading the way. And we're looking forward to see where that all drops, right? Seeing where all the drops. Bull DeFi Superman live stream when? Dave, James, dude. Yeah. Hey, look, hit them up and hit them up and let us know. Let us know where that lands. That'd be cool. All right. Yeah, while you're getting 3 to 4% in treasury bills, the crypto market's going to deliver hundreds of percent. And with your gold's going to get rotated into crypto. So good stuff there. And no mad gains for you. What else there? Chris says, yeah, hey, hit them up and let us know. Let us know. That'd be great. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell. And of course, catch me again tomorrow. We'll be doing another big daily live show. What else can we say? Yeah, maybe we'll get one of those guys on the show. Maybe all of them. We'll see what Chrissy can do. Big shout out to Chrissy and the girls in Philippines, I think it was, at the restaurant. And hope your customers enjoying the show too. Yeah, maybe there, maybe not. Frank White says, bro, your stream a couple of hours ago, you were looking at Curve, just a crap coin. Thought it was Curve. Which one? Curve? Okay, was that a crap coin? Okay, Frank. So yeah, it might have been a oversight on my part. So I apologize for that. If that was the case. Yeah, it's the Curve with the limit orders is the one. So maybe I was looking at the wrong one there. All right, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and thanks for the feedback. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and bye for now. 3 days to go until $2.3 million of Ethereum gets distributed in TitanX. It's got to be fun to watch for sure. So we'll try and give updates on that every day until it drops day 888. That's pretty crazy, right? Since it launched, you guys hear it at the beginning. It is kind of weird having it launched. It's pretty weird stuff, right? All right. Nice one there, Frank. Yeah, Curve. Good stuff there. All right. Take care and bye for now.